Now let me discuss some of the topics regarding performance testing process. How performance testing process works. When we, like in the initial classes, we have discussed this process, but in this class I am going to do a little bit further discussion on it. Let me open a document as well. Now when, like, let's say you are working in an organization and you are in performance testing team. Now there are other teams who work with different applications, and they are basically the application owner, BAs. Okay. Now, so when, let's say you work in performance testing department, there is another department called procurement department, there is another department called human resource department, there is another department called, let's say you have a department of customer service. Okay, there are, in an organization there are multiple departments. I'm talking about a big organization where it has different departments. Okay, so they have, like, every department has in this country, all of the department, they do their work using different kind of softwares. Okay, now every department has their softwares. Sometimes they introduce new softwares, sometimes they upgrade their existing softwares. So when they introduce new software or when they upgrade their software, they will need performance testing. So when they are upgrading or bringing a new software, they communicate with the performance testing team. Hey, we are upgrading our this software and we need performance testing on this software. Then when they communicate with the performance testing manager, the performance testing manager then look at his schedule and resource availability, and then ask them if, depending on the performance team's availability, he asks the other department, hey, we are going to send a document regarding your application, like what are the specs, what are the related details of that project. He sent a document to the empty document, I mean a template document to the other team, like who is seeking performance testing. So he sent a document. In some organization this is called speeds and feeds. Some other organization, they call it performance process document. Okay, so when a team need performance testing because they are upgrading their software, right, then they communicate with the performance team, and performance team check their availability and send this speeds and feeds and or performance process document to the team who are seeking performance testing. So this speeds and feeds document, it is actually it includes all of the performance criteria. Okay, so all of the performance criteria means this document, it is a template. Okay, it is a template, it is an existing template. Okay, where corresponding team includes their project related information. They basically fill up blanks. Okay, it includes all of the performance criteria, such as performance criteria performance criteria examples. Okay, performance criteria examples includes, let's say, project details, then project purpose, then project environment, project architecture. Okay, then business scenarios, test cases, and user volumes. Then it includes timelines. Okay, so the speeds and feeds or performance process document, it includes, let me open Excel and let me prepare a speeds and feeds. This is a template. This template, as a performance engineer, we send it to the other teams. So I'm going to create a sample performance process document here, or performance speeds and feeds document. So let's say, what are the topics that I mentioned here? Project details. Okay, so if you go to your Excel here, let me create a sheet here, project details. Okay, and then what are the other sheets? Project details, project purpose, project environment. Project purpose, and then project environment, and then we have project architecture, then we have business scenarios and what is that? It is not coming here. I'm going to, let's see, let me copy this. Okay, business scenarios, that we are calling also business scenarios, test or test cases, we cannot make it much bigger. Test case and user volumes, normally this is the same, and then we have another sheet called timeline. Okay, now let's come to the project details. So let's say in every project has a project number, project name, then any other details. Okay, if they has any other details, they include it here. Okay, and then let's come project purpose. So the team provide purpose of the project and background of the project. Okay, and then project environment, here they put project application servers information and project web servers information and projects database server information. Okay, and then in project architecture they put project architecture diagram. Right, if there is any diagram of the project, they put it here. Now let's say that they have let's say they have 3 test cases. Okay, so what they do here, they create some test case, like they provide you the test case details. So something like this: test case num. Okay, and then they provide you test case name. Okay, and then test step num, and then let's say step description. Let's say, who joined?
This is Hassan.
Hey Hassan bhai, how are you?
Good, how are you today?
Good, thank you. Expected output, and here let's say response time and TPH. Okay, so test case num, let's say test case num 01, and test case name, let's say user registration. Okay, now so what they will do, they will be putting step 1, 2, 3 here, and what they will do also, they will be putting, can you see here, let's say step num 1, and then what is the step description? Open browser and go to whatever site. Okay, let's say I'm not writing a test case, but I'm giving you a sample. So expected output, let's say page will be displayed. Okay, response time, let's say 2 seconds. Transaction per hour, let's say 100. Okay, number 2. So this test case is about user registration, right? Click on sign up, and let's say sign up page will display. Let's say this is 3 seconds, and here they are looking also 100 transaction per hour. So this is our first test case. Okay, now let me bring this.
Quick question.
Sure.
In your work, for performance testing, the test cases, do you use to write the test cases? Do you use Excel or you use the Word?
Oh, they send us test case in Excel.
Oh, okay.
Some of the team, they send their test case in ALM, but most of the case we send them this template and they input the test case here in Excel. You got it?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Now let me come here. Let me do a little bit format here. Okay. So let's say this is the test case number 1, and then we have another test case. I'm just going to copy it. Hello, who joined?
Assalamualaikum, bhai.
Rafiq bhai, Assalamualaikum, কেমন আছেন? So please take a look here. We have two test case. The first test case is user registration and the second test case is user login. User login, and then click on sign in, and then sign in page will display. I'm not writing a complete test case. I'm just creating a template here. Like this document, we are preparing a document. You know, when a team need performance test, let's say you work in performance team and other team they work in customer service, some of them work in sales, so they need to upgrade their software, and when they upgrade their software they need performance testing, and then they communicate with the performance manager, and performance manager send them a template that is called performance process document or performance speeds and feeds document. So we are preparing a sample speeds and feeds document here. Okay, it is not a complete document, but we are preparing a sample. So this document will performance manager will send it to the other team, but I am here writing also test case, but this test case will not be there. This test case will be filled up by the business team. Okay, now I will be doing another test case here. Let's say this one is 50 login per hour. 50 login per hour. Okay, test case number 3, and let's say this one is user check statement. Okay, now you come here. Actually, let's say user send a work request. Okay, now it will be sign in page, and then let me input another insert. Now I'm going to put another so here it is 50. Okay, the last one, the last step is, let's say user, after signing, user click on submit request. Okay, interface will display. Let's say this is 2 seconds and we want another 50 transaction, actually 50 transaction. Okay, now we have let me make this one together. Okay, now we have these 3 test case. Now this tab we are calling business scenario and test case and also volume. Now there will be another table here. Let's say the volume. Okay, what is the volume? What is the concurrent users you want to put? Now what are the test case? Let's say test case long and then test case number and then concurrent users or concurrency and peak transaction per hour. Okay, now test case number 1, actually test case long, and this is test case name. What is the test case name? The first test case name is user registration. User registration and concurrent user or user concurrency, let's say 20, and maximum number of transaction per hour is 100. Number 2, test case number 2, user registration and then user login. Okay, and let's say concurrency is 15 and number of maximum transaction is 50. And our last script is user send work request. Let's say our maximum transaction is concurrent user is 10 and maximum transaction per hour is 10. Okay, actually let's put 5 here concurrent user, here let's put 1. Okay, and here let's put 50. So these information will be coming from the business team. You will be sending a empty template and they will be filling up this information. They will send you all these numbers, all this test case information. Okay, now you come to the timeline. Okay, in the timeline there are certain tasks. Okay, let's say speeds and feeds, availability, and here let's say let me input insert. Okay, task name, and then let me put start date and then end date. Now speeds and feeds availability, and then there is performance approach document. Okay, then bandwidth analysis, and then test script writing, test script, then executing performance test, and then analyzing the results, and then performance test result work through. Okay, now can you see the sequence and the way performance test goes? Team, can you see what I'm doing here? Let me see what is your response so far. Who are in the call? We have Bishakha, Nafisa Bhabi, Shomidda, Murad Bhai, Ripa Bhabi, Hassan, and Rafiqul. Okay, what is your response so far? Guys, are you there? Can you hear me? Yeah, come out of cold. It is snowing has stopped and it is sunshine outside. Okay, tell me something about your understanding what I discussed so far.
These are the documents need to be prepared before we perform the performance testing. This is the like the whole project work for tester. That's what I'm understanding. And the template will be sent to the business. Business will prepare these test cases. We're not gonna do that. We will perform the performance testing, and from following that test cases and following these documents. So some of the things we have to prepare while looking forward. As far as my understanding, these are the work scenario for performance testing.
So this will be a template in performance department. They will not fill up what is the project number. It will be filled up by the project team who need performance testing. You will send this empty document to them, and they will be mentioned what is the project purpose of the project. Background means what is the upgrade the project is going through. They will be filling up this information. They will be providing you all the servers information. Okay, project application server information, like what are the servers name, those things here. And then they will be provide you a project architecture diagram, and also you will be providing this just test case name. They will be filling up all this information like user registration, test case name, what is the concurrency. They will be filling up everything. You will send just this template empty. Okay, and this template you will be sending this empty template. This test case will not be here. You will just prepare this document like test step nong, test step description, expected output, response time, TPS. These data open browser, they will be filling up this information.
What is the TPH?
So this is transaction per hour. So how many transaction you are looking for in an hour? Okay. Any more question? I am expecting more question. Any more question? Hassan bhai. Go ahead.
Concurrent user is for the peak time upgrade, and then it Right. So there will be, say, there will be like two different concurrent users that we have to check.
Okay. Hold on. Let me give you more information on these concurrent users. These concurrent users are, let's say, when you will be executing the performance test, how many users will be working on registering users. Remember, when you execute the script from controller, you mention how many users you want, right?
Yes.
Remember, we put how many users? 10 users. How many users we put?
10 users. Yes.
10 users. So when you in a performance test, you can include multiple test cases, and for each of the test cases there will be concurrency, like what is the concurrent users will be working on this test case. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. So now, if you have any question, ask me. Don't keep it in yourself.
The script it would be different for the peak time and for the the concurrent users for the peak transaction. Is it a different script?
Okay. Now, Bhavi, take a look here. Let's say user registration. Okay, we are seeing 25 concurrent users, but that 25 concurrent users in an hour, how many registration will be completed? Remember, we have 10 concurrent users, but we have registered how many in our test? 100 users, right?
Yes.
Remember the scenario that we have designed? Can you remember that we have provided 10 concurrent users, but they completed how many registration?
Like we have 100, we did divided 10, 10. That's how we did it.
No, you did like in your script, you provided, let me bring that scenario. So what I am trying to explain here, in your script you provided 10 concurrent users, but that in your data file, how many data were there? Remember, how many data? You had 100 data or 50 data, right? In your script, when you set up the users parameter, how many parameters were there?
Yeah, I remember that when we had like 100 users, so there was 10 users. So what we did, we did 10 times, like 10 times, 10 times.
Yes. So
that's how we did.
yeah, so that 10, like when you design your scenario, you mention 10 users, right? That 10 is your concurrency, and in terms of number of transaction is how many transactions it completed throughout the test.
So the 10 user 100, that means 10 transactions.
10 users worked on 100 set of data. So how many times they had to do it?
10 times.
10 times. Yeah, but altogether for 10 user, how many times?
Altogether 100 times.
100 times. So that is the maximum transaction per hour. You got it?
Yes.
That is the maximum transaction per hour. Let me design a scenario and that will be more clear to you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you practically like what does this number means. Like we are writing here, we are writing that in our Excel, we are writing our concurrent users 2510 user registration login and send a work request, and we are saying 100 transaction 50 and 20. Let's see what does this mean. I'm going to design a real scenario here. Go ahead.
I have one quick question. That's all that in past 18 hours the concurrency will come from business. Who decides?
Who will decide this number?
Yes.
This number will be coming from the business team.
No.
They know what is their concurrency. They will be telling you, okay, this is my concurrency. When you are testing, you use this number. Okay, now I am going to design a scenario here. Let me show you in real example. Now, what do we select? Basic, right? And yes, now let's come here. Basic, and here it is saying, let me do it. How many users total? So let's say this one. Okay, so in this script here, how many? Let's say I have if you take a look in our document here, I have how many users? 25, 10 and 5. So let me go to my situation here. 25, 15 and 10. I have 35, 40 users. So let me bring here 40 users altogether, and these 40 users I'm going to change it to how many users I want. 40 users. If you have 40 users and then you want to put out of 40 users, how many users to the, let's say, sign up users. Let's say you want to put let me make this number a little bit. Let's say we have 40 users, but we want to put 20 here, and then we want to put 10 here, and we want to put another 10 here, right? Now out of that 40 users, half of the users are going to the first script. Okay, then let me go to the number here. So I want 50% here, and then here 25%, and here 25%. So I have 40 users, but I am allocating these users like this. Do you get this? Now what I want, this script, I want how many transactions? If you take a look here, how many transactions I want? What is the number of transaction? 100, right? So let's, and that one I want 50, that one I want 20. Now let's go there. Let's go to the scenario. So by these 20 users, I want how many sign up? 100. So I will be inputting think time, pacing time in my script, so that by 20 users I get 100. I get 100 sign up. You got it?
Yes.
So I will be adjusting my pacing time, think time in my script to create how many transactions? To create 100 transactions. Now sometimes, before we execute the actual performance test, we do lot of dry run. We do lot of dry run to establish the load profile. Your goal is to create 100 transactions. So when you execute a test, if you see it is creating 200 transactions, right? Then what you will do, you will be increasing your think time and pacing time to create 100 transactions. Is it clear?
No, Bhaiya. please explain one more time.
Sure, sure, no problem. Give me 1 second. Now, let me.
Can you go back the page, not the this page, the page you write? I just want to see one thing. You divided 20, 20, 10, and 10. I just want to read one thing. Then maybe I will understand.
Actually, rather than going 20, 10, and 10, let me put 10, 5, and 5. Okay. Now you come. Now you come here. Now you come to this Excel here. Now you come here. How many users you have? 20. Right? Actually, can we execute 20 users test here? No. We are going to execute a test to explain this thing here. Let me actually go to Excel and make it 6 and 2 and 2. Okay. Now, how many users I have? 10. Let me go there. Let me put it 10 users, and let me put 50%, 25%, 25%. That's fine. Actually, that will be it will be 60% then. It will be 60%. 6 users, right? So out of 10, 6 users will be 60%, and here remaining will be 25%, and this will be, let's say, 15%. Actually, this will be 20%, and that will be 20%. So that makes 100%, and out of 10 users I am using 4 users, 6 users for sign up, 2 users for login, and 2 users for new tours user registration. Okay. Now if I execute a test, okay, I know my test might be failed, but I'm going to, what do? We go to result settings and we create a results folder. Now I'm going to create my results folder in the desktop, and I have a temp. Okay, I'm going there and I'm going to create a performance testing results folder. Performance testing, and I'm going to create a result. What is the date today? 2017-01, and today is 08, and I'm going to give a result. Now, how long I want to execute this test? Let's say run until no, I want to execute. So we are saying transaction per hour. Okay. So when you are executing a test, you mention here transaction per hour, but I'm not going to execute it for transaction 1 hour. I'm going to execute it for 2 minutes. I do not want to make it too long. Okay, I'm executing it for 2 minutes. Okay. Now I think there is a web tour application, so I'm going to bring that web tour server, and let me start execution. So this test, how long will it be running? 2 minutes. Okay, and let me go to runtime settings. I'm going to give pacing. I'm going to give a fixed time. I'm going to give pacing, let's say 0.5 second. Pacing 5 seconds, and think time. Can anyone tell me what is think time?
Think time after one iteration. We put think time.
Think time what? After every iteration?
Each iteration.
After each iteration we put think time?
No, I think transaction. Sorry, transaction. Iteration is like thinking that. So after each transaction we
So after every transaction we put think time. Okay, and in this case we are putting a 1 second think time. And what is that pacing time?
Pacing time every after iteration, end of the iteration.
After every iteration. And what is that log will do?
Now we'll bring the server response. It has got options. Like you can go for extended log, and that will give a server response. We will be able to see that.
No, it will generate the log file. When you execute test, what it is doing,
Yeah,
it will be
yeah,
generating that log.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let me do one thing here. Now I have set up the runtime settings for one script. Now can you see what I am doing here? Now where do I set up my runtime settings? In this script. I have set up, let's say, run logic, pacing. I have pacing 5 second. I have log, extended log, parameter substitution. I have think time 1 second, and this is I have set it up in one script. Can you see if I go to this script, we don't have probably any runtime settings. Can you see we don't have, like, pacing is 10 second, we do not want that. So we want to bring, see, whatever focus this, note this, whatever think time I have here, pacing time, think time, I have 1 second. Over there I have 5 second, pacing time 5 second. Now can you see in this one, do we have the same? Do we have the same pacing time? No. We have. Do we have the same think time? No. Now you can, Tim, take a look. You can put different pacing time, different think time to your script by, note here, you need to put think time and pacing time according to your number of transactions. If you put higher think time, it will generate lower number of transaction. If you put higher transaction, it will generate what? It will generate lower number of. Can you understand, like, what I am saying? If you put higher number of think time, then it will generate lower number of transaction. Why? Can anyone tell me why?
Because it's gonna use the think time, and we have estimated we were gonna use only 2 minutes. So that's the reason. Because after each transaction, if we have like 20 seconds, then we won't be able to cover the whole
Have repeat the question.
Yeah.
The question is, if you put higher think time, it will generate lower number of transactions. Why?
Because so you are doing think time. If your think time is big, that means obviously it will give you a lower number because it will stop that amount of time.
It will.
Like let's say your think time is 30 seconds. So every time it will stop for 40 seconds, and then
Wait here.
kind of that.
Wait here. Let me give you the real situation here. Let me see runtime settings. I have the script here. Let me go to runtime settings, and can you see I have think time 50 to 150%? Right? Focus on that. Let me put think time 200% to 250%. Okay. Now let me execute this script. How long it is waiting here? How long it is waiting here? 4.85. How long it is waiting here? Can you see?
42.
42. Why? Because we put think time 200% to 250%. So it will be minimum 200% and maximum 250%, a random time. Now you understand why it is waiting so long time?
Yes.
Tell me, ask me question. Actually, if you ask me question, no harm. Are you understanding what I am trying to explain?
Yeah, because your think time, you get higher think time. Like before it was 50 to 100. Now you did like 200 to 250.
So that means like if you put higher think time, you can see that in your script it is waiting longer time. Is that correct?
Right.
If you put higher think time, the script is taking longer time to be completed for the execution, right?
Right.
So if it takes longer time for the execution, then it will be generated less number of transactions. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. You can have this long, but it doesn't matter how much. But isn't it like it's supposed to script supposed to generate the all whatever like a transaction you have. If you have a 10 transaction in your script, isn't it? It's supposed to like eventually maybe it takes time, but eventually isn't it? It's all the transactions should be executed.
See, if you go there, if you let me go there. Let me go to my controller. If you schedule it for 2 minutes, it will be executing only 2 minutes. If whatever it can complete within 2 minutes, it will be complete up to that. It will not be executing all of the data. It will not be executing all of the data.
Oh, okay. That now it's clear. I can understand that part.
Okay, so let me tell you, when see, let's come here, let's come to the script again. But if you schedule the test for 2 minutes, if a user start execution, he will finish execution, he will finish the script. Even if it will take 5 minutes, he will finish the script. He will go all the way down to the end of the script. Did you understand?
Yeah.
So when you have, let's say, let me tell you here. So this script, when I executed it, it took like a while, like a couple of minutes. Now you are executing the test for how long? 2 minutes. But the script execution, it takes how long? Let's say 3 minutes. So what will it do? Will it be stop execution after 2 minutes? No. It will finish, if it starts an iteration, it will finish the whole script. But remember, you have how many data? You have huge number of data. It will not, probably it will be doing the operation only for one data. It will not finish the operation for all the remaining data. You got it?
Yes, Pramod, I got it.
So what it will do, let's say we schedule the test for 2 minutes, and then in this script how many parameters we have? We have around 100 parameters. So it will be executing the script for 1 or 2 parameters. It will not be able to execute the script for whole parameters because we have provided only 2 minutes. And one other thing, your think time and pacing time, if you have higher think time, higher pacing time, it will take longer time. Then you will have less number of execution. So let's say, let me go there again. So if I say ignore think time, okay, and execute it. If I say ignore think time and execute it, if I say ignore think time, can you see how long it takes for the execution? It is done, right? If I say ignore think time, it is done in a matter of matter of 5 or 10 seconds. But see, it executed the script one time. Now if you go to runtime settings, and if you say run logic, you want 5 times, you want the script to be executed 5 times, right? And you don't have any pacing time. See how long it takes for executing the script for 5 times. So we are done 5 times. How long it took? Short time, right? Now take a look one thing here. How will you make sure that it has executed 5 times? Yeah. Yeah, you look for ending iteration. How many times it was able to execute? You look for ending iteration. Okay, probably I have something here. Let me remove that. Oh, I have. Okay, now you look for ending iteration. So this is iteration 1, this is iteration 2, this is iteration 3, this is iteration 4. So that means it has executed how many iteration? 5 iteration. 5 iteration means it has executed this script for how many times? 5 times.
5 times.
5 times. How long it took?
It's just shorter, very shorter.
Shorter. But if you go there, let me show you one thing. If you go there and let's say think time, you put a think time of, let's say multiply, you can select different think time. Okay, if you select as recorded, it will be playing whatever think time in the script. If you have 2 seconds, it will be playing 2 seconds. If you have 3 seconds, it will be playing 3 seconds. If you select multiply recorded think time by 1, let's say you say multiply recorded think time by 2, then it will be playing. If you have 2 seconds, it will be making it 4. If you have 20 seconds, it will be 40 seconds. If you put a random of percent, then you can select 200% to, let's say, 300%. Then if you have 2 seconds, it will be playing from 200 second, from 2 second, from 200% means from 4 second to 6 second. Can you see how this percentage is working? So let's say you have selected 200% to 300%. Then you go to your script. Take a look. What is the think time you have? 2 seconds. So what is the 200% of 2 seconds? Can anyone tell me? 4 seconds. So it will be a random. If you go there, it will be a random. Can you see random? It can be 220%, 250%, 260%, up to 300%. Now if I want to execute this script, let me remove this 20 seconds. It is taking too long. And let me also do one other thing. Let me select a pacing time. So again, pacing time, you can select fixed, you can select random, right? You can select, let's say I'm going to select from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. So what it will do, after every iteration, it will be waiting a random 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, do you understand this?
Yes, I had a question on that.
Go ahead.
In real life, in your work life, the pacing time, how much usually use?
In real life, it depends on how many number of transactions you need to generate. You can see if you put higher think time, higher pacing time, you will have less number of transactions.
Okay.
Right?
So
If you,
it's all about we have to calculate
Yeah,
according to
yeah.
the total number.
Yeah, yeah. If see, if you want to execute the test for 10 minutes, and if you put higher number of think time, then it will generate. Let's say you want to execute the test for 10 minutes, and you put a think time, let's say 100% to 200%, and then you execute the same test with a think time of 200% to 400%. Then which one will generate more transaction?
With the less think time.
Yeah, with the less, where you have less think time, it will generate higher number of transaction. Okay, now let me execute, like I have a think time and pacing time. Let me execute this script. Can you see think time? It is waiting here, as we have 200% to 300% think time. Do you understand how it is calculating this time, think time?
Yes, Sarmabhai.
And we have a pacing time from 10 to 20 seconds. Can you see it is waiting here 13 seconds after? Can you see ending iteration? After this ending iteration, it is waiting 13 seconds.
Yes, yes.
So you need to have clear understanding about this think time and pacing time, because in load runner, people will be asking you a question: what is think time? What is pacing time? Why do you need them?
And it makes sense because, Sarmabhai, it makes sense because what happened when I was for this time, actually total, transaction, to reduce the time, what I did, I was running with the shorter amount of data, because this time and waiting time was filling the time, and that's what I have done. So, that makes sense. Like, it's a big issue, I would say, when we are executing that script, definitely.
Yeah. Shomita, what is the question?
So who decided for the peak time and picnic time for our
You.
decided or
You will be deciding. They will be providing you the number of transactions they want, and then you will be adjusting. Like, remember, it is kind of tuning up. You know, when you listen music, what you do?
yes.
You adjust volume, you adjust so here it is adjusting the time. So by adjusting time, you are adjusting how many number of transactions you want to generate.
Yes, so we have a lot of transactions, bigger transactions, so we can put the minimum peak time and
Yeah.
minimum resting time. If we have minimum transaction, so we can put a lot of maximum peak time and resting time.
Yes, you are correct, you are right.
Okay.
And can you see, like, when I put think time and pacing time, it took longer time for the execution, right?
Yes.
But if you have lower think time and pacing time, it takes what?
More data.
It execute more transactions.
More transactions. So we need to verify first, put minimum load time and minimum peak time. So then if we need more time, so we can put extra.
Yes, you are right. Now, go ahead.
The business with the time actually comes from the transaction user, the concurrency comes from the business.
Business.
And the time, execution time, we have to decide the execution time, right? So
Yes.
we have to figure it out. So according to that execution time, we have to adjust the think time and pacing time. Otherwise, we won't be able to execute 100%.
Nafisa Baby, according to the number of transactions you need to generate, according to the number of transactions, give me 1 second. Actually, now let me go to my, let me go there, let me go to the controller. Now this test here, we want to execute it for 2 minutes, this test. Now before I execute this test, I want to take a look what is the condition of the script. I'm going to close this. So the test, now take a look here. If I want to take a look, like this is the script, if I want to take a look at the script, what I will do, I will click here, it will bring the script. Okay, now this is the script, this is the first script, and I can see it is from WebTools, and also I have enough parameters inside. Now 2 of the parameters will throw an error message, we know that because of the empty password. And then let me close it. Let me take a look at the next script. What will I do? So I'm looking at the, before I execute the script, I'm looking at the script. Are they good? Will they pass? Okay. Now this script is again from where? It is from the same one, and we are doing login here. Okay, login and sign up. Let me see how many parameters I have. I have parameters, that should be okay. Now let me execute it once to see how it goes. You can see I have a 5-second wait time in this one. So this script is good too, there is no problem with it. I think I have multiple iteration, I'll have to change this. Can you see it is executing, one iteration is done, it is going to execute one more iteration. So I'll have to change it so that every time it execute only one iteration. Okay, so this script is good, except I will have to go to its runtime settings, and from there let me see how many iteration. Run logic, can you see 2 iteration? I'll have to make it 1 iteration. Okay, and then here let me check the last script that I'm going to execute. Okay, now let me see, this is NewTools demo IoT script. Let me see how many parameters I have inside. I have parameters, but let me see if I have enough thing. Let me execute it once. So I have a breakpoint here. Let me remove this breakpoint and execute it.
One question. So this script, so only we can record, or we have any option we can manually write the script? We learn for UFT, we can have a recording option, or we can create manually. So, and automation create only for recording the script.
See
We
here,
don't need it.
here you will be doing probably 99% of the time you will be doing recording, 100% time.
Okay.
Some of the application you might not be, your tool might not be able to record. Very rare. On that situation you will have to manually generate the script. But in my whole career I got this situation only once.
Oh,
Okay.
so okay, just
Can you see it is executing 4 iteration? Can you see? So you will have to adjust these as well. Like if you go to its runtime settings, and if you go to, can you see 4 iteration? I'll have to make it 1. Okay. Now what is the runtime settings we got? For this one we got pacing 5 second, think time limited to 1 second,
1.
right? For this one we got pacing how long? Pacing 10 second and think time as recorded. And then for this one we have pacing as soon as the previous item, we don't have any pacing. Think time we don't have any, we have think time as recorded, right? Do you know what does it mean by recorded?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What does
Recording mean, that means is recorded mean is that what time the recording time?
no, recorded think time as recorded means whatever time you mentioned in the script. If you mention 2 second, it will be 2 second. If you mention 5 second,
Yes.
it will not multiply it, it will not random it, it will be playing whatever think time you have.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's say you want to make all of the think time, all of the runtime settings similar. You have seen that this 3 script has 3 different runtime settings. Is that correct?
Yes.
But I want to make all the script similar runtime settings. Can you see what I am doing? I am selecting all the script
Okay.
and then clicking on runtime settings. And can you see shared runtime settings? I'll be clicking on this and then I'll be going to pacing. Okay, I'm going to give a pacing, let's say, yeah, I'm going to give a pacing of
Pacing number 3.
fixed. I'm going to give fixed 5 second pacing. Okay, and then log, I'm going to select extended log and only parameter substitution. Think time, I'm going to put this think time 2 seconds. Okay,
Are you recording this part?
yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
And then I have some other settings. Can you see here? Define each action as a transaction, generate snapshot on error, right? So I'll keep them. I'll click OK. So can you see now, if you go to individually, for each of the script runtime settings will be same. You can see that run logic, iteration 1, pacing 5 second, think time 2 second, limited, can you see limited to 2 second. Now this is first script. Go to the second script. Can you see we have pacing. What was the pacing in the last one?
Pacing was 5 seconds.
Let me see. In this one, pacing was 5 second, but I can see in this one pacing is 10 second. That means my command didn't work. Let me take a look again. Okay, let me go there and then let me select shared RTS and then let me put think time limited to 2 seconds, pacing time let me put fixed 5 seconds. Okay, and then let me click okay, and let me save it. Save this scenario. Let's say when you save a scenario, again you do date 17 and then today is 01 and 08, and what is this scenario about? It is, let's say, new tours and web tours. How long we are running the test? 2 minutes. So we give a meaningful name. Okay, now let me check what is the status of these runtime settings. It is 5 seconds, right? Think time limited to 2 seconds. Let me check this one. Can you see I have 2 seconds limited to pacing, I have 5 seconds, right? That means I have changed everything together. Did you understand this?
You supposed to check the third one? Or third one should be there?
Which one?
The third one. Oh no, okay. You did one sign up and demo login. The two, you have to check the third one, or by default third one will
Yeah, third one. See, the purpose was I changed the runtime settings for all of the script together by going there.
right there.
Did you understand this?
Yeah, I did understand, but I thought you did the first one, just check, make sure it happened, and then you did check the second one, or you didn't check the third one.
Oh, I checked the third one too. Let me go to the third one.
Okay.
Yeah, third one too. It will be affecting, like if you change it together, everything will be changed together. Now let me execute this test for 2 minutes. Oh, if I want to execute the test, where will I have to click? Here, right? So you will be seeing that it will actually execute. How long we wanted to execute this test? 2 minutes, but it will be executing more than 2 minutes. Why? Can anyone tell me why it will be executing more than 2 minutes?
Because we did time 50 to 150%.
Yes, because it will be executing more than 2 minutes, because not for the 100 to 50%, but when, let's say you have scheduled it for 2 minutes, but one user started executing a script after 1 minute and 50 seconds, and for script execution it takes 30 seconds. So he will have to finish, like when he start execution, he will be finishing it. So the test will not be finished until he finish execution. That's why it will be executing slightly more than 2 minutes.
I didn't understand. So, like one user will start, then one user will end, then another user will start.
Same, no. All the users, can you see all the users are running now. All the 10 users are running now. But let's say now it is 1 minute and 51 seconds, right? So they are executing, and when they are finishing one execution, they are starting another execution. So when they start execution, they will have to finish it. Now can you see gradually exiting? That means now whatever they are doing, they are finishing it.
I got you.
You got it? So can you see it is slightly more than 10 seconds, because when they start executing a script, the user finish the execution. Okay, now let's take a look at the results. Analyze results. Okay, let me bring here summary results. Can you see that this test case 1, how many times it executed? Actually, for now you can see there is a problem here. Can you identify which script is what, which script is test case 1, which script is test case 2? Can you understand from this?
Yeah, because it's showing test case 1, 2, open it. No, it's
Yeah,
showing
it's
1, 1.
transaction name to here. So
Transaction, yes. Because it's like, you can understand from this, looking at the click on itinerary.
But let me tell you one thing. Can you see, like, all of them are, we have 3 test case, all of them are test case 1. Can you see that?
Yes.
So it is not, the result is not meaningful to us.
Yeah, it's a hard way, but we can separate them.
It will be very hard to separate, because all of the test cases are test case 01, and can you see open test case 01 open application, test case 01 open application, and can you see test case 01 open application? Which one is what test case? We don't know, right?
Yes.
We don't know. Now I will keep this result, but before I do that, let me do another change here. Let me go to design view. Now come to the first script. Open the script. Remember what I am doing. It is being recorded. It is a very important session. What I am doing here. You try to understand this.
So let's ask you one question to Mohai.
Hmm?
Because then, while we are, we are, transaction name, we should be careful, the transaction, about the transaction number. We should be careful that it's not overlapping with each other.
Yeah. So the way, see how the way you will be doing it. Okay. Now this action, this is, let's say this is can you see this action? Now I'm going to save this script in a different name. This is test case 1, that's fine, but can you see the action? I'm going to name the action. Come here, this action, rename it. You put, after the action you put, so sign up users. I am changing the name of the action. Can you see I change the name of the action?
We can do it for every transaction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Now this is my test case 1. Okay, this is my test case 1. I am good with that. I am going to close this. Let me open this one.
Because I have done the same thing, so all of them I started with test case 1, then I
No.
number.
Yeah, that will hamper your work. Now let me show you the way I am doing it. So this one I am going to save it as, look here, I am going to save it as test case 2. Here I am going to save it as test case 2. First I am saving it as test case 2, and when it is done, test case 2, can you see I am going to change the name of the action. Can you see this action? I am going to click rename, and I am going to put the same thing here except the version now. Now here, instead of putting test case 01, I am going to put test case 02. Okay, can you see what I am doing here? Okay, now I am going to close it. I'm going to close it, and then this script I'm going to remove it by another one. I'm going to bring another script here. Browse. Can you see this is my test case 2. So I'm going to bring this for this one. Okay, so this is my test case 2. Now I don't need this one. I'm going to delete this. Now can you see I brought test case 1, test case 2. Now let's take a look the last one. So let me open this first. So after opening, I will be saving it as test case 3. File, save script as test case 3, save, and let me copy this name. Let me copy this name. I'm going to copy this name, and here I'm going to rename it. Right?
Welcome. Please enter your access code followed. You entered 0049. There are 6 participants in this conference. Please announce yourself.
Hey guys, I was just got disconnected, so I'm back here. Now I'm changing, so this is test case 3. Now I'm going to replace this one by TC 03. Okay, now you can take a look here that this is, again I need to change this one, test case 03, and in the beginning I have test case 03. Let me see if I have any test case. This is 03, this is 03. Instead of test case 1, I am making the test case 3. Now I am done with the modification. Let me come here. I am going to remove this, and I am going to bring another script here, test case 03. Right, now let me do, I want to put 6 users here, so I am going to put 60% here, and then 20%. Now can you see that I have test case 1, test case 2, test case 3, and inside the test case I have what? I have changed my um, transaction name so that I can differentiate between the transaction. Now let me execute it. I'm going to actually I'm going to create another. Yes.
Yeah, before the application, I got an email that so now you have these updated test cases file. Do you need to fix again the pacing time and runtime, sync time, or is it adjusted?
Yeah, we need to. Let me go there. So I need to change this think time and pacing time. Let me go there, and I'm going to select everything together.
How would you select shift or shift?
Yeah, you click on shift and click. You click control and shift. Control click. Okay, and then you go there, shared RTS, and here pacing. Again, I'm going to give a pacing of fixed, let's say 10 seconds. Log, I'm going to give extended log parameter, substitution, think time. I'm going to give a limited think time of 2 seconds. Actually, I'm going to give a limited think time of 4 seconds. Okay, and then I'm going to click OK. Now let me do one other thing here. Go ahead.
Execution starts, it will execute all the transactions. So even though in global schedule we have selected 2 minutes, it's not according to that. It's not that 2 minutes is not controlling the execution. So because it's completing 100% execution.
No. Look here. That 2 minute is controlling it. That 2 minute is controlling. The way it is controlling, let's say if you schedule it for 2 minutes, but let's say one user is executing this sign up script. Okay, he executed first time, it took let's say 35 seconds. He executed second time, it took another 35 seconds. That is 70 seconds altogether, right? Now he execute another time. Like if you are scheduling it for 2 minutes, so by 70 seconds he executed how many times? Twice.
3 times.
By 70 seconds he executed twice. Each time he executes, it is taking let's say 35 seconds. So when he executed it for one time, he executed for how long? 35 seconds.
Okay, 35.
Time is not finished yet. Then he start another execution. Then he will take another 35 seconds. So it is 70 seconds, right?
Right.
Now we are executing 2 minutes. It is not finished yet. He will be starting another execution. It will take 35 seconds. Now 105, right? Our 2 minutes is not finished yet. Then he will start another execution. Then another execution will take another 35 seconds, right?
Right.
So then it will be, yeah.
The duration is for one execution, right? One time. So 140.
See, for the last time when he is executing the third time, fourth time, he is on 105 seconds. When he executing the fourth time, he will be taking another 35 seconds, and then it will be 140 seconds.
Yes.
So 140 seconds means 2 minutes and 20 seconds, right?
Right.
Then when he will be try to executing another time, then he will see 2 minutes is passed. Then he will not start another execution. Is it like, did you understand what I am trying to explain here?
Yeah, I understood. Yeah.
Okay. Now let me see what is the runtime settings we have. Shared RTS. You come here in pacing. In pacing, let me give actually fixed. Let me give 5 seconds. In log, let me give extended log. Always extended log. Parameter substitution. Think time, let me give limited think time to 4 seconds. Miscellaneous, generate screenshot. Preferences here. Actually, preferences we define non-critical. Okay. So I'm going to keep configuration, miscellaneous, generated. Okay, define each transaction as a action. Okay, click OK. Now you check individually. Pacing, we have 5 seconds. Think time, we have 4 seconds. Let me check the last one. I'm not going to check the middle one. We have pacing 5 seconds. Think time 4 seconds. Now let me start execution. So if I go there, I'm going to select result 2. Click OK. So it's saying that the following action in script is no longer valid. So we'll have to which one is that? TC01. Now let me stop execution because then it seems like there is an error. Let me go there. The first script I'm going to remove it because it is creating a little bit issue. I'm going to bring the first script again here. I'm going to add it. Now browse. So TC01 sign up users. Right? I'm going to open it. Okay. Now here I'm going to put again, I'll have to adjust these users. I'll be putting 60 here. I'll be putting 2020. Now let me see what is the runtime settings for this one. So the runtime settings, you can see that our pacing is different. So I'm going to put a fixed pacing of actually I'm going to put a fixed pacing of how many seconds? 10 seconds, and think time of limited to 4 seconds, and miscellaneous, define each transaction. Okay, now let me execute it. Now again I am executing it for 2 minutes. Again it is showing some error. Result 2. Okay, let me see what it comes now. So I can see some of the errors, probably some of the users failed. I'll have to see why they are failing. One of the script didn't kicked off. See that the script TC0302 failed. Let me see. C interpreted error. Sign up action. Sign up users. What is this? Sign up users error. Okay, that's fine. This error we know, but this error unresolved symbol action. Let me see what is the details of symbol action. New tools. Sign up registration. Okay, I'm trying to see what is this error. Okay, so these two script I'll have to make sure I'll have to stop execution because I can see it is creating some issue, right? So the way you troubleshoot, see here how I'm troubleshooting. So script, can you see failed users? TC03 and TC02, they failed. they were not able to execute. So I'm going to troubleshoot these two scripts. Let me go to design and let me select this one. Okay, now as you can see from here, probably this script is 02. Can you see I have changed the action name here, but can you see here it is action? So I will have to give the same name in both places. So I'm going to change this action to, actually no, let me copy this name, F2, copy and put the same action name. Is it clear what I am doing here? Whatever action name here it, go ahead.
It's complicated. Yeah.
So we changed the action name here, but the action name is not changed here. These two action name will have to be same. This one and this one will have to be same. Okay. Now let me see if there is any error. No error. Do you understand what I am doing here?
Yes, yes.
So these action name, see these action name, this one and these two name will have to be same. So as it was not same, it was creating issue. Now let me see what is problem with the third script.
Yeah, my screen got hanged. I'm going to log out and log in.
Okay. Okay, now let's take a look. Can you see here this action name is different, right? So we'll have to put the same action name. You'll have to copy it. Okay, now let me see if there is any error. So it said no error. I'm going to close it. Now let me, actually I didn't want to do that. So this analyze, I don't need it. Let me stop this analysis. Because there were
How did you drop the analysis? What
Hmm?
did you do?
what?
How did you, little of the, like you dropped that analysis. How did you do that?
How do you what? Question, how do you bring the analysis?
No, because you are dropping the analysis, the current one. What did you do?
Actually I am just closing it.
Okay, close it.
Yeah. Now I have all the setup done. Now let me see if I execute it now, as I have changed the action name. Let me see what happens now. So now all the scripts are running, no problem. Previously there was problem. Now you can see that all the scripts are running. I'm trying to explain. I changed the action name, I changed the transaction name, how it is affecting my result. Okay. Now you have seen that in the previous execution we are getting real difficulty in figuring out which transaction from which script. So we have changed the transaction name and action name. Can you see all the action are same action? I know we have 3 script, but action is only 1, because in every script there were only action. Now let me finish this execution, and when I will be bringing the analysis it will be more meaningful. And you already know what is this error for, right? It is intentionally we put error message in our script. Can you see this? If you double click on this error message with a timestamp, we have, we have two empty password, remember, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so this is just to show you like how you analyze result. Okay, now we have scheduled it for 2 minutes. It will be executing a little bit more than 2 minutes, because whoever, can you see, gradually exiting, now they are finishing whatever they are doing after 2 minutes. Okay, so now let me open the analysis, result analysis. Okay, now let's take a look. Let's take a look here. Can you see how many action transaction we have now?
Yes. One.
Can you see how many action transaction we have? How many action transaction? 3.
Yes.
TC01, TC02, TC03, right? And then, yeah, and then can you see that we have, TC01, 01, TC01, 01 open application, right? And then TC again we have to change something. Can you see TC01, 01, 01 for opening application?
Open application
Twice, right? For TC03 we have open app, but it is not properly changed in TC01 and 02. TC03, can you see TC03 open app, but for TC01 open application, TC02 we have a open application, but we didn't change the transaction name. You go.
But Bhaiya, can I ask you one question?
Sure.
So what is the reason we are having that issue? Like on the name it's like coming twice or it's not like completed. I mean, it is our reason, like when we start the recording or something.
No.
What is the reason we are having?
The reason is when we name the transaction, we didn't name it properly, right? Now can you see, like for TC03 we have open application, right?
Right.
But for TC02, can you see any open application for TC02?
No.
No, right? Now
I got.
now let me go to TC02. So this is my TC02. Let me go to design. Let me open this TC02. Okay, let me.
We have.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just asking. You are pretty much teaching us. It's like when you record the script, if you any action, when you write all the names, if you make a mistake, you go to design and then that's how you can fix that, like the name already.
So I'm changing it from my controller, but you can open a virtual user generator and you can change it over there. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now can you see this is TC02, but can you see open application TC01? So what we will have to do, we will have to change this to TC02 and then this is to TC02, right? So then we will not have that error, like we will not have confused. Let me see what are the other things we need to correct. So we can see index, HTML action, sign up user 7, sign up user 28. We have some other login PL action. So I'll have to figure out what is this, why this is coming from. Let me see. Okay, summary report. Okay, now let me okay, now let me go to let me go there, let me go to my controller and let me close this one here. So let me open it back to see what is the status now for TC02. Okay, now I have action and then I have transaction. Let me see if all the transactions are in. I'll be checking just transaction by user. Control F, find all. Now I have all the transaction properly named. Can you see this is 0201, this is 0202, this is 0203, this is 0203. All the transaction named properly. That's fine. I'm going to open TC03 to make sure that everything is properly named. Okay, let me go there and let me look for transaction again. Now I can see it is 0301, 0302, 03, 02, 03, 03. Everything looks okay. I'm going to close this. Now I'm going to look at transaction, the first script. Now let me see what are my transactions. So I have TC0101 open, TC01 open, TC0102, TC0103. Everything looks okay. So now I'm going to do another execution. But before I do another execution, I'm going to no, I already have opened the analysis. So let me stop this analysis. Okay, let me stop this analysis. I don't need it. Now I'm going to change the result settings. I'm going to make it result 3. Okay, and then I'm going to execute these two. And let me see what is the runtime settings. Share.ts, pacing, I'll give a fixed pacing of 10 seconds. I'll be giving a think time, limited think time of 4 seconds. I'll be giving miscellaneous. Yeah, everything looks fine. Everything looks fine. I'm going to click OK. Now let me check with one of the script if it is reflecting the runtime settings that I'm looking for. Log, yeah, I have the pacing, I have 10 seconds, think time, I have a 4 second. Everything looks okay. Now let me execute it. I'm going to execute it again for another 2 minutes. So can you see, for a simple scenario, how many times we are changing names? In real life, it is more work than this. And one thing you need to do, you need to practice it. Whatever I am doing here, you need to practice it. Otherwise, although you are understanding it, you will not be able to. You will not be able to do it, or you will not be able to explain it. So you can see like how many users running now. 10 users running, how long the test is running, how many hits per second in the application, how many transactions passed so far, how many error messages, how many failed transaction, right? You can see everything from here. You can see different graphs from here, error statistics. You can see view user with errors if there is any view users. You can see transaction response time from here. Can you see our maximum, minimum, average? So normally when we are executing test, we are looking for average time, how long it is taking. You can see from here that each of the transaction, how long it is taking. You can see everything from here. And remember, normally we do not edit the script from controller. When we are writing the script, we make sure that all of our transaction name, everything is correct. Then we bring the script in controller. But here we are changing everything from controller. Normally we do not change script from controller. We only change script from controller if we need it, if we really need it. Okay, now that execution is done. Let me go to results, analyze results. Okay, now let's take a look. You can see that now for TC01 we have open application, right? For TC02 we have open application. For TC03 we have open application. Okay, and then you can see all the transaction related to TC02 start with TC02. TC02, 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 TC02. All the transaction related to or from transaction test case 3, TC03, TC03, TC03. All the transaction from test case 1, TC01, TC01, TC01. Right? Can you see that? Yeah, now also take a look. We have transaction, so that means TC01, how many time, like how many past transaction we have? 35. How many stop transaction we have? 1. TC02, this means TC01 35 means all the transaction from TC01 executed how many times? 35 times. TC02 12 times, right? Now go to TC02. Can you see TC02 12 times, 12 times, 12 times? TC03. So this is actually the whole test case. Here it is whole test case. Now TC03 executed how many times? 16 times, right? Okay. Now what I am going to do, I am going to change here. I am going to go to design and I am going to select all the scripts and I am going to change the runtime settings. So pacing time, this time I am going to put a pacing time of fixed pacing time of 30 seconds. So I am actually, previously it was how long? 10 seconds. Now I am going to put it 30 seconds. Okay, and then think time, previously it was 4 seconds. I am going to double it. I am going to make it, actually I am going to triple it. I am going to make it 12 seconds. Okay, now if you check, let me double check what I did. I am going to go there. Now pacing 30 seconds, think time 12 seconds. Let me go to another script to make sure I have the right settings. Pacing, think time 12 seconds, pacing 30 seconds. So I am in the right setup. Now let me change the result to result 4 and let me do another execution for same amount of time. So now can you see, like, we are now in this execution, in this last execution we have everything okay, but we have increased the pacing time and think time to see how it affect our execution. Okay, I'll show you when my result comes. So how long it will be executed? Can anyone tell me?
It's supposed to execute 2 minutes, so it's gonna count the iteration and then the time.
I mean, how, like, we have scheduled it for 2 minutes, but how long it will be executed actually? A little bit more than?
It will take more than 2 minutes.
More than 2
Little
minutes.
bit more than.
But this time, see, last time when it executed, if you go there, it was executed for 2 minutes and 14 seconds. But this time it will be more than 2 minutes and 14 seconds. It will be, because now we have higher think time. Okay. So after 2 minutes, all users start ramping down. Can you see, after 2 minutes, gradually exiting means whatever users started doing, now they are finishing it. Because we have 12-second wait time, that's why it is exiting out slowly. Okay, now we are done. Let me bring the result. Okay, now let's take a look. Okay, so this is my latest result. It executed for 2 minutes and 39 seconds. But if you compare, let me take a screenshot to make a comparison. So I'm going to take the screenshot of the transaction summary and I'm going to open a this is this execution is with higher think time. And let me come here, let me go to my previous execution. This was with slightly lower think time and slightly lower pacing time. Let me take a screenshot. Okay, let me go to my paint. Now actually I will have to give me 1 second. I'll have to move it a little bit. So this one, okay, let me move this one a little bit more than this area. I moved it from there. Okay, then let me bring this. Ooh, I lost it, right? Okay, let me bring it. Let me move. Let me clear this area. Okay. Now let me. I have the screenshot here in my thing. Let me copy it. Let me bring it here. Okay. Now take a look. So this one is with this one is with lower think time and pacing time. And let me label this one as well. So this is with higher think time and pacing time. Now what is the difference we are seeing this in between these two execution? We executed the first one, we have executed, can you see how many past transaction? 395. In this one 255. That means lower number of transaction, right? You take a look here. Sign up users, how many times it executed? 35 times. How many times here executed? 23 times, right? Then you come here. Then can you see in the second test case we have executed 12 times. Here it has executed 8 times. Third test case it was executed 16 times. Here executed 7 times, right? Can you see how think time and pacing time affect the number of transaction? Now if you, let's say your goal is to generate here, instead of 23 your goal is to generate 15. So what will you do? You will go to that script and you will increase the think time a little bit more, right? Are you understanding what I am trying to explain? How you adjust your result?
Can you explain one more time?
Okay, sure. Now take a look here. Depending on think time and pacing time, if you put higher think time, you can see number of transactions is becoming lower. If you put higher think time, the number of transactions is becoming lower. But if you put lower think time, your lower think time and pacing time, your number of transactions is higher. Now let's go back to our discussion here. What was the discussion? Our discussion is we supposed to generate, let's say 100 transactions. We supposed to generate how many transactions? 100 transactions for test case 1, 50 transactions for test case 2, 20 transactions for test case 3, right? Now if you look at the result up there, right? So we supposed to generate how many transactions? 100. 100. Test case 1 we supposed to generate 100 transactions. And for test case 2 we supposed to generate how many transactions? 50. And test case 3 we supposed to generate 20 transactions. So what we will have to do, if you look at here, you will have to reduce the think time a lot for this, right?
Yes.
Then it will be higher number of transactions. Yeah, go ahead.
So we need to set up TC1, TC2 and TC3 because paper TC1 is 100 transactions, TC2
Yeah.
50 and it is lower than R.
Yeah,
So we need to set up every separately, right?
yeah.
We have to focus like what is our target. maximum transaction, how many we're supposed to have. So it's a 100 transaction. That's what we have to focus. And then according to that, fix up the pacing time and pacing time.
Pacing
That's
time.
what we have to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
So let's say we are executing, sorry, let me just ask you because this is, I'm trying to understand. Let's say we are executing and then obviously we have set the sync time and pacing time and then, well, in the result we find it's not our targeted result or expected the way we wanted from that template. So in that case, we adjust the sync time and pacing time, and we make that possible according to our expected target. Am I correct?
you are right.
Okay.
You will be working towards your target performance criteria.
Yes.
Okay. Now, does anyone have any other question?
So if we need to run repeatedly 2 times and understand, it's not, it's not happening, it's not giving the expected result correctly. So we do it, right? And we make the final run result, and then we submit that one only. Am I right?
Yes. So before you do the final execution, you do lot of dry run to make sure that the load they are looking for, you generate the expected load.
Exactly.
And when, see now, can you see the time? When you have generated higher number of transaction, look at this transaction TC0202 login, right? Look at this transaction. I am trying to specifically focus something here. Look at this transaction TC0202 login. What is the difference you are seeing? So if you look at 90th percentile response time, can you see this column, this 90th percentile?
Right. Yeah.
What is the difference you are seeing?
388 and 415.
388.
Timing.
Mm-hmm.
In the lower transaction it was less time, and then for higher transaction it was more time. Am I right?
See,
Percentage.
so now if you go back to your, let's say, your document. Now for this, let's say, for sign in you have 2 seconds. So you will be calculate response time when you have expected number of load. You got it? So now you will be calculating the response time, right? When you are executing the test, how long each of the transaction taking. So you will calculate this time only when you have generated the expected number of transactions. Did you understand this?
Yes, but here in the template, what was provided from here is 2 seconds. That is the expected, and whatever we get over there, we have to add that. So we have to add another column. Am I right?
When you are analyzing, when you are preparing report, remember in the report that we prepared, let me go to the report that we prepared last week. Remember we have prepared a report, right? So this is the expected time, but from there, if you go to there, this is the actual time. Can you see? This is the actual time. This is the actual output time that you got from the application. Okay.
Okay.
Now I am opening that PowerPoint. I will show you. Last week we have already discussed this issue, but if you go there, let me open this performance test execution result. Now this is a different thing I have opened. Okay, so this performance test report, if you look at it, let me go there. Can you see in SLA we have input SLA. Where is our SLA? So if you take a look here, can you see our SLA? Right, so in SLA you can input the expected time, and then it will tell you which test case, which step passed, which step failed. Right, now let me show you. Actually, let me show you. If I go there and let's say I want to put a SLA. Now how do you do SLA? Tools, configure SLA, new, let's say next, percentile, that's fine. Now let's say select the transaction. You have this one, open application, you want to put SLA for this transaction. You know, when you have your speeds and fees document, they will give you time here. So you put this transaction, click next. Now you put for this one, what is the time? Let's say your expected time is 1 second. For this one your expected time is 1 second. For this one your expected time is 2 seconds. For this one your expected time is 1 second. For this one your expected time is 0.5 second. For this one your expected time is 0.3 second. For this one your expected time is 0.2 second. For this one, you get this data from where? You get this data from this document, from these numbers.
Yes, that's
Okay, so I'm configuring this number here. Let's say 0.3. Let's say this is 0.3. Okay, then click next. Finish. Now close. Okay, now it is configuring those numbers with this one. Now if you come here, can you see that it is giving you which transaction passed, which transaction failed. Now in graph, let me add another graph. Can you see add graph, analyze transaction. Not this one. Let me add another, add new graph, analyze SLA. Can you see here? Now you can see, you can add another graph. Let's say edit, copy to clipboard. You can go to your report and then you can add another graph here, duplicate this, and here I am going to put transaction SLA, or you can put service level agreement. And then you can put here that that graph. I will not be able to bring it from there. I will have to take a screenshot because it is in the virtual machine, right? Let me take a screenshot of that SLA because it is there, right? Let me take a screenshot. Now let me go to my report. You paste it here, and then if you want to put some text, let's say 4 of the, how many transaction failed? 4 of the transactions didn't match the expected transaction response time. Right? Can you see here? Expected was, goal was 0.3 but it took 0.311. Here goal was 0.3 but it took 1.629. Understand? Hey folks, are you understanding what I am trying to explain?
Yes, because it is like expected, it is showing it is expected result or not according to that document.
Yes. Alright, so what I am going to do now, it is your task. I am going to send you this document with 3 test case, from the Web Tour application, HP Web Tour, like the application that comes with HP. I am going to send you 3 test case. You will be, and I am going to send you the expected times number of transaction. I am going to send you everything. What is your task? You are going to do what? You are going to write the script. You are going to generate the controller. You are going to execute it, and then you are going to execute multiple times by adjusting the think time and pacing time to generate the expected number of transactions. And once you have generated the expected number of transactions, you will be preparing the report. Got it?
Yes.
So do you think we can discuss any further topic today?
I think that's all today.
What
For
about
me, I mean, I don't think I can take it anymore by brain.
what about others? Can you take any more? I want to deliver some more topics. Can you take any more?
I have no problem.
Okay, then let me bring the other topics that I wanted to discuss. That correlation, manual correlation.
Yes, please, Mama, I guess, because if you will not go through, then it's not easy.
Yeah.
From everything.
Yeah, let me finish discussion on that manual correlation, but you got your task. Remember I told you I'll give you some test case to finish. So this is the test case that I'm going to give you, is regarding like this document. Remember, this document is a template that you send to the project team, and the project team filling up and send it back to you. And I will send you a similar document. You will be executing test cases, but before that, before I end this session, I'm going to discuss the manual correlation topic. Okay. Now, in order to do that, let me close everything from here. I don't need them anymore. Let me close this. Yes, I have to save it. Let me close this.
Mama, my quick question. For you, how long it took for you to learn the load runner, to become an expert in load runner?
So for me to learn the load runner, it took around 1 month.
And to become an expert?
I'm not an expert yet, but the level of knowledge I have, it took like around 6 to 7 months to be fully self-dependent, like to handle a project. Around 6 months, after not 6 months, like I started handling project by myself, by me, and directing other people, like helping other people in around I started helping people in 2 months, and then I started handling my own project in 3 months, and I was kind of handling my project efficiently in 6 months. Okay, now let me bring another topics that we wanted to discuss. Manual correlation, folks. Manual correlation, we already learned what is automatic correlation, but I am going to explain here how you do manual correlation. I already sent you a video over there. We have explained in details, and now I am going to explain it again. And also in the beginning we have explained manual correlation, so this will be my third explanation on manual correlation. Okay, so
Are you going to record this session?
yeah, it is, the whole session is being recorded.
Okay.
Is that possible? You can make a separate recording for manual correlation.
Okay, then let me stop this recording. Okay, alright guys, so I'm going to stop this recording, and then I'll be starting a fresh recording for manual correlation, but this recording is becoming long. I'm going to stop it. Alright.
Okay.